Hello, I'm TheHereticSpot, and we are taking a look at Baldur's Gate 3 and the classes we have here. We got 6 classes, and we are starting with the Cleric. We have, as Cleric, when you create a Cleric in Dungeons & Dragons, you have on the first level to choose, of course, the Cleric, and the domain you worship or you work in. We have 3 in the early access version now, or this early access version, with life, light, and trickery. The domain and its features are all pretty similar to what we have in the player's handbook, so there's not much of a difference. If the domain you surf in makes a difference in the game, like how characters react to you, I don't know that. And the music is still, well, at least that part, which is one of my favorite tracks. I did like the teaser so much. I was tracking. No, I watched it several times. That's what I meant to say. I hope I am understandable. Well, at least when I rewatched the video, it was okay. What do we have here? We have something was changed. That is these spells you have actually in your spell list. You see, now only I have 1 prepared spell because I put my wisdom on 10, meaning the prepared spell you have is your level plus your wisdom modifier, which is now 0. But in the player's handbook you have a few more spells to choose from. And those which are missing in here are Destroy Water. You have Create Water, so the Destroy Water I thought should be there, but well, maybe it's not important. I mean, and I think there's a puddle of water and it's electrified. If you would destroy that water, the electrification would be gone as well. That would be quite handy. What's gone as well is, what is a bit of shocking to me, is detect magic. You can't detect magic items or magic traps anymore without that spell, which is sad. Maybe it will still come into the game. Maybe they were not able to finish it or make it work according to the game rules. Another missing one is Detect Poison and Disease. Might be important to some quests or areas. Purify Water and Food and Drink, not water, food and drink. It's probably not important at all, for this had more a role-playing perspective feature in that regard, because I hope we will not have poisoned food and water or drinks in this game. And the spell Sanctuary is gone as well, which is, well, sad, but we have still a good amount of spells here. Oh, and 1 cantrip is missing, one important one for me, but we come to that soon. So we have Bane, of course. Bane is fantastic. Command, Create Water, Guiding Bolt, that will be as well a good spell. It's bloody powerful. Healing Word, also a very nice spell with range. You can immediately get a friend out of a dangerous zone when he is downed. Inflict Wounds, Protect from Evil and Good. It's probably a very important spell when you are in the Underdark or even Avernus. And of course Shield of Faith. The cantrip I was not mentioning, which is missing, which is kind of shocking to me, is where is it? Spare the Dying. You wonder, what does it do if you are not playing that, if you haven't played Dungeons & Dragons before, or the 5th edition in that regard. Spare the Dying is a spell when companion of yours is downed, he has actually death saving throws to do. If he fails 3, he is dead for good, and you can look for another companion. Spare the Dying is a spell which stabilizes your companion character immediately, so he doesn't have to roll for death saving throws anymore. If you still get stabbed by an NPC, he will die of course, but he doesn't have to roll or get the chance of dying by rolling low actually, which is quite nice. That is a cantrip which saved a lot of moments for me. But, well, might make it more interesting. Blah! Goddamn, I'm sorry. Might make it more interesting at some point. The class features are all the same. As I said, you have these spells available to you at level 1, and I don't assume you will get more level 1 spells when you progress. Those will be all level 1 spells. At least in the pen and paper version is that your DT gives you all the spells available to your class level. And of course, the life cleric gets the bless and cure wounds as class or as domain spells, so he doesn't have to choose them from its list. They should be all prepared always. These two are always prepared. Another nice feature from the life domain is that you get the proficiency on heavy armor. That is one of the few clerics who actually has that. You can choose between a variety of deities, to say Saloon, Shar, Tempus, Tyr, Bane, Helm. If I remember, Helm was actually quite important in Elturel, or at least I think it was an important character or deity in Elturel. Miracle. I'm sorry, I have to drink something. I'm getting a dry throat. So, Bane, Miracle, and I think was it Ilmater? I think I don't know. At least these two are from the Dead 3. Those were the more or less evil deities worshipped in Baldur's Gate. Those came from Baldur's Gate 1. You probably know them quite well if you have played the first game. I probably have played the first game. I'm replaying it at the moment, but I can't remember anything about it. Ogma, the goddess of wisdom or knowledge. Kilimvor, Baal. Oh, Baal. What's Baal? Yeah, but it was Baal, I think. But Ilmater was Baal. Muradin. Oh, that is for everyone who plays Dwarf knows Muradin. Corellon Laresian. Doesn't tell me a thing. I have never heard of that. I've never read of that deity because it wasn't a deity I was worshipped in those characters I've played. Gale Littergold. That name does ring a bell, but I can't put it somewhere. I don't know who he was. Lolth. We all know Lolth from the Drow. Lae'zel. I've never heard of that one before. Ah, patron of the Durga. Lucky, that sounds like someone from the Gith. Yeah, it actually is. Ilis Trey is the goddess of good aligned Drow. Ah, okay, that is interesting. And back to Saloon. Well, that was the life domain. Light domain, as you can probably guess, has a different domain spell, which is Burning Hand and Fury Fire. And it gets as well the light cantrip automatically. So If you don't want, if you want 4 from these cantrips you see here, you can choose the light domain, and that means you have the light spell automatically and can choose a few others from here. Of course, the prepared spells don't change, and on the bottom here you see still the spells or the domain spells of the life cleric. That seems to be a little bug in the game. Those domain spells stay on the characterization permanently, but they are probably not in the game. You as well get the feature Warding Flare. Shield yourself with Divine Light. Use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attacker, potentially causing their attack to miss. Now, the player's handbook, it was referred that if he is in a distance of 30 feet, meaning 18 meters. And was it 18? 10 feet is 3 meters. Yep, 9 meters. 9 meters. 9 meters. This should it be. 30 feet is 9 meters. Yes. Yes, 30 feet is 9 meters. So, in the player's handbook it says if the character who attacks you has to be in your line of sight and in a distance of 30 feet or 9 meters. This one of course doesn't have the heavy armor proficiency, but every cleric has at least medium. And then we come to the trickery domain. I've never used the trickery domain before, so that is something which will be intriguing and interesting. I don't know if I will like it or not when I play it, but we'll see about that. And the trickery domain as well has other domain spells, in this case Charm Person, which is a wonderful spell, a really wonderful spell, and Disguise Self, which is, I would like to know how that one works actually. That is very, very intriguing. And of course the Blessing of the Trickster. Grant another creature advantage on stealth checks. That is quite nice. If you have a rogue, the rogue will really appreciate that help. And of course you don't have Bless and Cure Wounds as domain spells. That was the Cleric in all its glory. I hope I covered everything important, and I'll see you on the next class. Till then, goodbye.